What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Whoa, that was weird. Anyway, I'm going to continue the Fodder or not the Fodder series. I know it took a while. I said one thing and I did another, and whatever. I'll be here. I'll tell you guys right now. I did a stupid thing last week. I finally beat Trial of Ascension hard, stage 80, and that was probably the hardest stage ever. With the Artemil and the 2 Wind Monkey Kings and the 2 Light Yetis. Oh man, all the revenges on that board. Let me tell you guys something. Talc is OP, but anyway, that's besides the point. I got to floor 99 like a few hours before reset. I kind of slacked on it, and then like 2 hours before reset, I tried to beat it. My first time trying to do it, and I didn't beat it. And it's like, and I tried, and I wanted to record. I did. I recorded my losses, so I don't think anybody really wants to see that. But so I said to myself, this month I'm going to do Trial of Ascension hard. And hold on, difficulty. This is hard, and I just completed it this morning, like a little while ago. I got rank 62. So, but oh man, I was so mad about last month, me not completing it. I streamed Trial of Ascension normal, and that turned out such a mess. I can't really stream. It's just ridiculous what's going on. It's so laggy, the stream. I don't know. Whatever. Hopefully we'll be able to fix it later on. I think it could either be the tablet or something else or whatever the case is. And I did my summons, and it was like, oh, somebody commented on one of my videos. He was like, my eyes are bleeding, and he was right. My eyes bled even worse this time around. So don't even bother to ask what I summoned. I didn't summon anything good. Let's put it this way: my legendary scroll from TOA normal this month was a Wind Barbaric King, and my legendary scroll from TOA hard this month was Delphoy. Not like I didn't have her already. So, anyways, let's just go on to the 4-star monsters. We'll go to their awakened versions, and we will start off with Shihwa, whatever her name is. Let's just bring this up a little bit. If it'll go up, anyway. So we got Shihwa. She is good for Necro B10. Is she good for anything else? Yeah, she's a good attacker. I like her leader ability, 40% attack power. She has 3 hits here. This does sleep for 2 turns. This effect will break when the enemy receives damage. Alright, so this is a single target hit, and this hits up to 5 times, I believe. Yeah, she's good for Necro B10. Is she great? I like the Wind counterpart. People will disagree with me all day long. Whatever the case is, it's my opinion. As I've said, these videos are my opinion. You don't like it, you don't like it. But I use the Wind one for the Necro B10 over the Fire one, and I have the Fire one. So we got the Fire Undyne here at Tanai. This skill right here, alright, evenly matches the percentage of hit points of all allies. Additionally, all allies recover 15% of their hit points. It's like a Chisun ability. The thing is that Chisun is better. Then we've got this, attacks all enemies with a swirling fire hurricane and recovers whatever. And then this, I think it's dots every time she gets a critical hit. If you get her and you want to ruin her, you could do Swift. You could do Swift Energy, Swift Focus, Swift Blade if you want. If you want to build a crit, you could do Despair on her too. I fought a Despair one. She's kind of hard. Despair Revenge, Despair Will, Swift Will, Violent Will. There's a lot of ways to build her. I forgot about her for Necro B10. Violent Revenge would be the way to go. If you want to use her for the arena, Fatal Blade. Yeah, Fatal Blade pretty much. Violent Blade works too. Rage Blade works as well. We got Beretta. Let me tell you something about Beretta. He is amazing for Trial of Ascension. Normal, hard, whatever it is. He's also pretty good for the arena. Oh, I got a big glare over here. Am I blinding you guys with the glare from my bald head? But anyways. He has his leader ability. It works everywhere. 19% attack speed, which is great. He has this, summons the Phoenix and puts 2 continuous damage for 3 turns. Turbulence resets the attack bar to 0. And then this, he also increases his critical rate if he gets a critical hit. The only way I would ruin Beretta, even though other people would probably say, "Oh, doesn't violent work," and this and that. The only way I would ruin Beretta seriously is despair focus or despair revenge. That's it. That's the only way, in my opinion. You want to do violent, you can. I would do despair focus, despair revenge if you want, whatever the case is. Freya. They recently buffed Freya. I actually was going to build one, but I don't have the patience for her. Her passive now decreases the attack bar by 10%, and then recovers the hit points of all allies fully when the character dies. Hers is pretty cool. You need a monster to pair with her. A good monster to pair with her is actually Jameer, because Jameer can reset this right here, which is pretty cool. I actually fought somebody on the arena that had that combination once a very long time ago. I guess it didn't work out too well because I never saw it again. But it was a pretty annoying combination. And then she increases the attack bar by 20% of all allies. And then this just does continuous damage, and she has the leader ability. I would go despair on her. You could go violent as well. Maybe you'll get lucky and you'll do this. This will be on a 2-turn cooldown. So you can constantly do this, but if you max it out, it'll be at a 2-turn cooldown. I think despair would be just a little better because of that, because the 2-turn cooldown AoE can get really, really annoying. Is she worth building? Not really, but I'm giving you guys builds anyway. This is fusion fodder. She actually hits really hard, and this skill right here transfers 2 weakening effects, up to 2. Yeah, attacks. Yeah, this was a recent buff. And she heals herself for 30%. The damage of this attack increases as the enemy's hit points are lower. Whatever. This is an AoE unrecoverable for 2 turns. And then this will sleep with a 50% chance. You want to build it, you can. Fatal Focus, Fatal Focus, Fatal Blade, or you could go Rage Focus, Rage Blade. You could do Rage Revenge, Fatal Revenge. There's quite a few ways to build her. You could go despair if you want. She has this AoE right here. I wouldn't do despair on her. You could go violent as well. Violent works well with her. Let's see, Jojo. All right, Jojo's cool. He's a little overshadowed now by the other bombers, but he has this nice bomb ability right here. And if all you need is 50% accuracy for him, because this gains 50% additional accuracy. The only thing is Jojo's a defense monster, so he has a high defense, and his attack isn't really all that high for a monster that puts bombs on him. The only way I would ruin Jojo is Fatal Focus, attack. The bombs don't crit, so you need attack in slot 4. This just does continuous damage. This is a defense leader ability, and this has an unrecoverable. Yeah, that's pretty much the only way I would ruin Jojo. You want to go... You don't go Rage. Rage is a complete waste. You want to go Despair? You can. It's not really worth it. Even Violent. You could go Violent. That can be worth it in some ways, but whatever. Garo. Honestly, guys, you got to be... I said this in my first video. You got to be a complete degenerate to want to build Garo for his... what do you call it? Passive. Offset the incoming damage that you may cause that may cause you to die with a 50% chance. It increases attack gauge by 50%. I think they recently buffed that on him. The only good thing is this skill right here, the leader ability. Actually, he increases speed for fire monsters by 30%. This is actually kind of useful. Kind of, not really all that. The stun. He can hit hard. He has a high base attack for a 5-star, so his base attack would go up to pretty much over 800 something. The thing is, though, he's a single target nuke, and there's way better monsters to build, so I'm gonna honestly say fodder for him. She recently got a buff also. She has this resistance leader ability. Attacks all enemies 3 times with a spinning circle of fire, with each strike having a 20. This attack applied with 100% critical chance if used with full hit points. Her attack lacks, first of all. I don't know what that AoE would do. I have her. She's actually the first 5-star I ever summoned. They summoned her as a 5-star. Not too thrilled. This hits really hard, though. The flame shot. And it's a nice little buff that they gave it. It decreases defense as well as attack. Whatever. This skill is pretty cool on her. It removes beneficial effects. It's not very reliable though, so don't depend on it. Gene is really cool. I tried him out with Vamp Ruins. He wasn't doing that great. Gene needs a little bit of setup to do a lot of damage, but he gets 100% more attack when his hit points are higher than 50%. This hits like a truck. The thing is, you gotta put like you gotta bring somebody with weakened defense with Gene. The only way to build Gene really is Fatal or Rage Blade. I wouldn't even depend on the stuns. So either Fatal or Rage Blade. You want to go violent, you can go violent. You don't have to. All right, Verd. A lot of people are going to disagree with what I say right now. Okay, I don't use Verd in the arena too much, and people probably think I'm a little crazy. Some people would say Violent Revenge is the way to go on Verd, 100% all the time. Mine is on Swift Blade. That's the old classic build on him. The thing is, though, that I use him for my Dragons team, and my Verd has really nice Swift runes on him and Blade runes, where I have like 70-something% accuracy on him. I have him on speed, crit rate, and hit point. He's got 100% crit rate, over 20,000 hit points, and he has a very, very high resistance, not accuracy. I think I said accuracy before. Resistance. It's got like 74% resistance, which helps a lot in Dragons B10, because between getting weakened defense on the way there and the dots when you get to the dragon, it helps out a lot. So I like my Verd the way he is, and he's got about 190-something speed. So if you're a beginner and you're looking to just farm dragons with him, I would go Swift Blade with him. Swift Revenge works 100% as well. Don't get me wrong on that one either. I wouldn't put him, if you want to farm dragons, because some people have problems with him farming dragons, Violent Revenge off the bat. You need really good Violent Revenge runes to put him on Violent Revenge. So Violent Revenge is a good build. Absolutely, I agree with it, but it's a late game build, and I personally just have Swift Blade on him because I have other monsters I want to ruin with Violent Revenge. So whatever the case is, it is. Chloe. Chloe has been part of the meta for a very, very, very long time. So there's multiple ways of building Chloe. I have mine Swift Will. I used to have her Swift Endure, the Swift Energy. There's also Violent Energy, Violent Will, Violent Endure. Here's the thing. Before, in the older meta, people were building Chloe really fast. Now, from what I'm noticing, they're slowing her down. Why? Because I guess it's for the Tiana Galleon Zyros comps, or whatever it is. Is it going to work? Doesn't it work? It works against me because I consider my Praha slow. She's at 190 speed, and the Chloes are getting the first turns for some reason. So that's really, really annoying for me right now. I think I might have to increase the speed on Praha or decrease the speed on Praha, whichever one it is. But, yeah. So, it depends on how you want to build Chloe. Speed, hit point is always the way to build her. You want to try and get some resistance substats. Defense substats work too. Speed substats, obviously. That's the first one you're looking for. The first one you're looking for is speed, then resistance, and then defense substats. Hit point substats, the same as defense, so is at the same importance. But she's really good when she's tanky and fast. So that's pretty much the way to build Chloe. It's the way you want to build her. There is no set build for her. Here's another monster where people are probably going to disagree with me. A lot of people want to build Hua with Violent Runes. Yeah, Violent Runes is good and all that, and it's better for the arena than it is for like Dragons or Trial of Ascension. I have my Hua Swift Focus. She has a decent crit rate, about 80-something% accuracy. I have her mine speed, crit damage, attack. Swift Focus. She's kind of tanky. She's very good for dragons. I use her also for Trial of Ascension, normal and hard. For those two purposes right there, and dragons, I think Swift is a lot more reliable than Violent. Because if she doesn't Violent proc at all in a run or something, and you need her to Violent proc, and it doesn't happen, and she's too slow, and this passive doesn't happen, pretty much she lowers the attack bar by 25% on a boss. That can get you into a lot of trouble. So, once again, I said this is my opinion. You want to build her violent, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with violent. I want her to be more reliable for me in dungeons. I have more options. Swift is the way I go with her. Arnold. Arnold was actually a big part of the meta when he came out. There's two ways you can build. Well, there's a couple of ways that you can build Arnold. You can go all energy, hit point, hit point, hit point. You pretty much want to max out his hit points as high as possible. You can go energy will. You could go despair will, despair endure, despair. Focus is not really an option unless you want the attack power reduction and the unrecoverable. Really, people build Arnold for this skill right here to hit as hard as possible. So you could go despair or violent, energy, will. If you put him on arena defense, I highly suggest you don't put him on arena defense. He's not that great. You put will runes on him for arena defense. You know, you do like violent will or despair will. Really, people build Arnold violent, especially if they put him on arena defense, so that he can violent proc like crazy. So I've had an Arnold. Let me tell you something. I didn't even get a chance to go, and he used extortion on me twice. So this was before the violent rune nerf. So sometimes he can be useful on arena defense. Now he's not really that great. This guy needs a buff. Even though, let me tell you something. I've been fighting them in Trial of Ascension, and lately they've been, oh man, what they've been doing to me. They recently buffed his passive. We'll talk about that in a second. Increases his critical rate by 24% in the arena. It gains a turn with a 15% chance whenever an enemy's turn ends. If this effect activates, your attack power and critical rate is increased for 1 turn. Look, this drove me a little crazy because now they're hitting a lot harder in Trial of Ascension hard. And it's really annoying. Is it worth it to build Antares? Everybody that's built him, when he first came out, there was a hype on him. I really wanted him. Everybody that's built him hasn't been too happy with him, so I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't see any use in building him. Yeah, he's pretty much attack, crit damage, attack. I would go violent just because he gains the turn, and then maybe he could get another turn, and whatever the case is. So violent blade, violent revenge if you want. He puts a slow, I believe, with his first turn. Yeah. Violent Revenge, Violent Blade, whichever one you want to do. Nemesis can work too on him. June. This third skill on June hits really hard. The problem is that he's fire, so if you run into water monsters, it doesn't hit that hard. He's really good. I suggest Rage Blade on him. He gets 15% crit rate already. He also has this skill. It puts continuous damage for 2 turns, and this skill has a 30% chance. And then they have Sword of the Supreme Skywolf. This skill doesn't hit very hard. In the beginning there was a bug in this skill. But whatever. If you need a fire AoE damage dealer, I suggest building June. This third skill can hit really hard. And then there's this, and they overall hit hard. Now, if you don't need a fire and you can wait, don't build him. He's not really all that. The Fire Kung Fu or Hung Hua, the Fire Chun-Li, whatever you want to call her, increases attack power by 33%, which isn't bad in the arena. The thing is that these skills are just, they don't hit too hard. This one, each strike prevents the target from using a skill. This is a recent buff. This skill is on cooldown. You have a 25% chance to counterattack when being attacked. Alright. Here's the deal with this one. It doesn't hit 4 times when it counterattacks on this. It only throws 1 ball at them. And it doesn't really hit very hard either. And then that recent botch each strike using a skill with cooldown for 1 turn. I mean, yeah, that's not so bad. Look, she's more fun to use than she is anything else. The only way I would ruin her is Violent Revenge. That's pretty much the only way I'd ruin her, because attacks with a condensed energy, with condensed and shadowless kick is activated with a 30% chance. So basically, you have a 30% chance of, when you do the regular attack, it'll go into this attack. And then she can also revenge as well. So, and this, I believe, removes a beneficial effect. It does. It's not all that reliable. 75% chance. I don't remember if it goes up or not. Other than that, she's really weak. 476 attack, base at a 5-star. That's horrible. Her stats need a big buff, you know. But she's fun to use. Draco, I like Draco. I built him because I needed more immunity. He has a decent leader ability. This increases the attack bar by 30%, and he gives immunity for 2 turns. This is an AoE weakened defense. It's only for 1 turn, but it comes in handy sometimes. And then this he has a 30% chance, basically to violent proc as well. There's numerous ways you can build him. Mine is Despair Energy right now. I should build him Despair Revenge, but I don't have the Revenge runes to put on him. Well, mine is currently Despair Energy. I like him the way he is. You can build him Violent and you can build him Swift as well. I've seen people use him Swift just so he can get the first turn, so that he can either weaken defense or use this buff, and then your whole team goes with a 30% attack bar increase. He's not bad. He's a little underwhelming, but he's not bad. He's pretty decent as a support monster, just for the unrecoverable and the weakened defense. He's a good alternative to some other monsters. This guy, up until Necro came out, before that, he sucked. He wasn't even worth building. Now, with Necro, he has this skill which hits 3 times. He has this skill which hits 3 times. And then he has this skill that hits 4 times. So he could do a lot of hits in 1 turn. And then he increases accuracy for fire monsters by 50%. Big deal. So this blocks getting beneficial effects. Oh no, this does continuous damage. Fine, that's good for Necro. This blocks from getting beneficial effects. It's not useful in Necro. It's really not all that useful in Arena either. He has a pretty high base attack for a monster like this. Sorry guys. Of course the battery's dying. Other than Necro, I really don't see any uses for him. I really don't like him in the Arena. I have one, I never really played with him. I don't like his skills. Violent Revenge is the way to go with him. So, you could build him hit point, defense, hit point. You could build him attack, crit damage, hit point if you want, or defense. I don't see why not. He'll do decent in Necro. He has some decent stats. I mean, he has a decent attack. His defense isn't all that high, but it's okay. His hit points are pretty low, so maybe you should make him a little bit on the tanky side, depending on what your Necro team is. Here's another monster, Kwakye, the Fire Sky Dancer. She's okay. She's good for Necro. This I've seen actually hit up to like 7 times. So that's pretty cool. 6 or 7 times, whatever it is. She has this heal over here, and then she has this. She does glancing hit. Everybody knows what this does if they fought it just soon. This is based on attack, so I wouldn't build her attack, crit damage, attack. Some people build her with speed, attack. Speed, attack if you're going to use her in Arena. You can put crit damage for this skill right here, so this skill can hit harder. You could build her attack, crit damage, attack. Her attack is lacking a little bit, but I'd rather, if I'm going to build her speed, if I'm going to put speed in slot 2, I'd build her speed, attack, so that you can get something out of this heal. Even though she increases the attack with that heal, it's whatever, it doesn't really matter on her. It's just, I would go attack just to make her heal a little more useful, instead of building her like crit damage, speed, crit damage, attack. He increases we've got the Fire Barbaric King. Honestly, he is so underwhelming. It's not even funny. Increases defense by 33%. I've seen screenshots of him in Garen 1 Hell, and he barely did any damage with this 3rd skill. Granted, he does 50% more damage. I saw a screenshot, he did like 28,000. Cold Steel actually sent me the screenshot. You know his runes aren't really joking, so I don't see really building him that much. In a dungeon, yeah, for a dungeon, maybe he'll be good for a dungeon, but other than that, I don't really like him. He has this AoE stun over here. I'm not too thrilled about him. He's fodder in my opinion. You want to build him. Fatal Focus, Fatal Blade. If you want Fatal Blade, what does he get when he's awakened? Increases critical rate by 15%. All right, but whatever. He's not really all that great. We got the fire pirate captain. Let me tell you something. I want one. I would build one, even though I wasted all my. It's not a waste, in my opinion. I max skilled my galleon with the light pirates that I found from Hall of Heroes. He's actually really good. I like his leader ability. Increases attack power by 33%. This, without a bomb, I've seen screenshots of it hitting like 35k. Without a bomb. Imagine it had a bomb and you did it. 50,000 damage right off the bat. That's really good. Alright? Him, I would build attack, crit damage, attack. Then he has this stun, and then he has this, he can weaken defense for one turn, whatever. Him, I'd probably build, I think the one I saw for 35k was violent, was a violent build. I would build him either violent or rage or fatal. Attack, crit damage, attack. Really good. I like him. I would really like to pull him. I've never gotten him, so I'd love to play it. I'd love to test him out. So if you have him, I'd keep him. I'd build him too. Platy. I have Platy. I recently got her. I haven't maxed her though. I 6-starred her. I haven't maxed her though. She actually has a really nice kit. She has this. This hits pretty hard. I have like, I think I have 3 ruins on her, and it's hitting really, really hard. While I was trying to level her up, and it puts skills on cooldown for 2 turns, but she has a chance to stun and to put to stop a monster from using its skills for 2 turns. So that's pretty cool. Then this skill right here, she recovers hit points by 30%, or she can revive, and when she revives, it's 3 additional turns for the cooldown. So the revive would be 7 turns, and when her skill is maxed, it's 6 turns. And then I believe she removes beneficial effects with her default attack. Yeah, which is not bad. It's not bad at all. Her attack speed increases. She's really, really underwhelming. I wouldn't build her. You want to build her? Go ahead. Violent Revenge would be the way to build her. Fatal Revenge, Rage Revenge. My old guild leader, Cold Steel, had one as his rep monster. I found her super underwhelming. I think she's fodder, to be honest with you. She's not good. This one, she's not that great either. This one decreases the damage at all. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this passive that she has. To be honest with you guys, increases attack speed by 15%. By 15. Attacks enemy 2 times each attack has a 50 to leave a branding effect. Yeah, I'm not too thrilled with her. To be honest with you guys, I'm not. I think she's fodder. You want to build her? You could go like Violent Revenge, Rage Revenge. Just put attacker runes on her. That's what she is. This guy's cool. There's a bunch of different ways to build him. People build him for Chiruka, Vampire Revenge, and he can solo some stage on Chiruka. I forgot which one it is. I want him as an attacker. I would probably build him Violent Revenge if I was honest with anybody, and what does he get over here? He gets the leader ability, so he increases attack power by 33%, and have him as a nuker, a straight nuker. By the way, what I was trying to say before. So Violent Revenge is definitely the way to go and he has this passive right here. As your hit points decrease, your attack power will increase, and the damage you receive will decrease. So he's really, really great, and he has this right here: increases the critical rate for 2% and instantly attacks an enemy with a powerful strike. This hits really hard. And yeah, attacks the target enemy with daggers and increases your attack power for 2 turns. So he's got his own attack buff, everything. He's so crazy, this monster. I really want her. She's really good. Increases critical rate in Guild Wars by 24%. It removes all harmful effects. I fought one on defense. She was a little annoying. Removes all harmful effects on allies, and then she randomly attacks. After that, 3 randomly selected allies will attack an enemy target. This can get a little crazy. In Guild Wars, not as much, but the arena it can get a little crazy. Then this attacks an enemy, removes all beneficial effects. If there are 2 or more beneficial effects, the attack bar of all allies increases by 20%, which is good. I like her kit. Her overall kit is really good. This has glancing hit. Fine. Glancing hit is useful. It can be useful. This guy. He's good paired with copper. It grants a shield that lasts for 1 turn to an ally with the lowest hit point ratio. The amount of damage that the shield absorbs is proportionate to your level. I mean, it's alright, this guy. He's okay. He's not all that great. But deals damage proportionate to your max hit point. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. This is not the one that's going. That's paired with copper. I'm sorry about that. So this is to your max hit points. Yeah, I'm not too thrilled with his skill set. Yeah, he's okay. It's not all that great. If you want to build him, you can build him. He's a hit point monster though, / support. So you could build him like speed, hit point, violent revenge, swift revenge, swift energy, violent energy. There's not much. There's not much to talk about with him. He's the one that's, I believe, he's the one that's the copper. Yeah. So increases hit points of allied monsters by 33% in the arena. Attacks an enemy, absorbing 30% of its attack bar and stunning it for 1 turn with a 70% chance. The damage of this skill increases according to your defense. So he's a defense monster, and they gave him defense stats and defense abilities. What a surprise! Increases the defense of all allies for 2 turns and decreases the chance of them receiving a critical hit. As I said, he's like a monster that you would pair with copper, so he's pretty cool. He's not bad. Deals damage to an enemy. Okay, he would actually be good for TOA hard, somewhat good. I'm not saying he would be great, but he would be somewhat good. You can go violent guard, violent revenge, all guard if you want. I wouldn't do fatal or focus. You could go swift on him though. Swift guard, swift revenge, swift focus. Since he decreases the attack bar by 30. No, sorry, revenge doesn't work on him really. So, Nemesis you can do on him as well. Whoops. The Fire Jack-o'-lantern, Smokey. What does he do again? Attacks all enemies 2 times with each hit having a 50% chance to either decrease their attack power or disturb their hit points for 2 turns. He has a low base attack and he's an attack monster. Attack the target 4 times. Each hit has a 30% chance to increase the target's chances of dealing a glancing hit for 2 turns. Attacks the enemy 3 times with each hit having a 30% chance to decrease the... He's really not all that great. You can use him in Necro though. He has a lot of multi-hits. For Necro, I like him. That's about it. His attack is too low for the arena and stuff like that. But for Necro, he's actually really good. And he has a decent little leader ability for Necro as well. So, yeah, he can be used for that. Arena, this 549 is annoying me. No good for the arena. And stay tuned, guys. We're going to go on to the 5 stars. There's not that many 5-star. Yeah, but it's going to take a while. So the video is long enough as it is. So I'm going to make another video for the 5 stars and we will move on. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to